nurses, have you studied today? That is the number one question. You know what it is. This is our 30 days of Nclex. This is the challenge. My name is Regina, MSN RN, and I am here challenging you to get your nursing license now. This is the time. We are doing a 30-day Nclex challenge from the Nclex virtual trainer. Are you a part of it? Have you joined? Have you signed up? Have you studied today? That is the question. You can join us. Listen, this is day number 7. This is day number 7. Yes, it's day number 7. We are in our first completion of a week of the 30-day challenge. So we are at day number 7. Hey, if you haven't joined us, it's not too late. It's not too late to join. Go over to remarnurse.com, sign up, get your virtual trainer, and get in this challenge. So as you guys know, we go over the virtual trainer. Yeah, we're talking about a 30-day challenge with the quick facts. And again, it's not too late to join. Head over to remarnurse.com, put in the coupon code INVEST. Yeah. All right. Investing yourself. Yeah, that's the coupon code in order to get your VT. All right. But listen, so check this out. We are going over the study calendar. Okay. We are going over the study calendar and we are on day number 7. We literally went through every day of the study calendar that we have so far. So it is the 7th day here. So we are going to be resting today. I actually am going to do an Ask Regina session. I have a couple of questions that I got emailed. And so I will be going over those questions and taking, the most pertinent questions on you guys' minds. Hey, congratulations to Marcus. He says, I passed with this, found out yesterday. Smash RN. That is phenomenal. Thank you, Marcus. Thank you for coming and telling us that we are on the right track and that, in fact, we can, we will, and we must do this. We want to be like you. We got to get that nursing license. We're not waiting any longer, guys. Remember, it's so important to have this consistency. We're challenging ourselves, right? We're challenging ourselves with the 30-day challenge because consistency builds progression, okay? And when we start out, we started this year out, we said we were going to do this. We're all amped up. We're all fired up. 6 days ago, you guys were all hyped. It was the first day. And now I'm seeing comments like, hey, I haven't studied. I'm falling off. And that's what happens. That is really what happens. You can get burned out with your studying, especially if you feel alone. Especially if you've been studying by yourself, it's very easy to get burnt out. And so that's why this challenge is really going to be the difference maker for somebody out there, for them to finally get over the hump. That's why I'm encouraging you guys, do this now with me. So we're actually resting today because it is important as part of our journey to put in days where we don't do any studying at all and where we give ourselves time to take a break, or we give ourselves time to catch up. All right. We give ourselves some stress-free time to catch up. If we build in rest days and we can say, okay, I know I won't be doing anything this day. I can use it to review my material. Okay. Use it to review my material and catch up. So that is what we are on today. Just taking a break from everything, stepping back and reflecting. It's good to reflect. It's good to reflect on how you have been studying, what has been working for you, what hasn't been working for you. You guys have been in this virtual trainer for 3 days now. All right. Yes. You've been in this virtual trainer for 3 days. Marcus, you got to send in your testimony. I'd love to hear it. So you guys who've been studying, you have a feel for what it's like, right? You understand things that you're struggling with and things that you're not struggling with. So again, this is the first week of our program here. This is the 30-day challenge where you are studying these two books. All right. And if you're watching like Marcus and you've passed, head over to remarnurse.com if you've passed /party. And we're going to plan to celebrate again all the nurses with Remar who have passed with us. All right. So here we go. I am doing so fine. I am doing so fine right now because I am here with you guys. And what I wanted to do, because this is a day of rest, I kind of wanted to do an Ask Regina session. And I have printed out some questions that I got, and I want to kind of go over them with you. And I also want to help you guys who are studying now kind of improve your studying habits and just answer questions you might have about the virtual trainer, right? So we're going to be together the next 30 days. And my idea is for you to get the most out of what I can offer you in addition to what I already put in the virtual trainer. So the first question that I see is, where do I print the calendar? All right. And everybody, if you know where to print the calendar, put it up. Put it up on the screen. Let's comment on the screen and let our Remar nurse know, Karen, where we get the calendar from. Yeah. So the calendar is in the file vault. It's in the file vault. All right. All right. All right. So the first question that I got is this. Hey Regina, I'm in school. When should I start studying for my Nclex? When should I start studying for Nclex? So that's a great question. If you're in nursing school and you are watching, ideally you know about the Nclex day one, and your school is pushing you. Your school is encouraging you, but most importantly, your school is teaching you content from the Nclex test plan. Now, we know that may or may not be true. However, you definitely need to start studying as soon as possible in terms of understanding what's on the test plan and what are things that you need to incorporate now. All right. But if you are a senior, okay, so I'll say this: if you're a senior nursing student or if you're in your final year, you need to start studying right now. All right. However, if you are new to nursing or if you're just getting into the nursing field, you kind of have to trust that your school is doing its very best to prepare you for the Nclex. If not, get into the virtual trainer. Get into the virtual trainer. All right, get into the virtual trainer. All right. All right, that was the first question. The next question, I see this a lot. You guys ask me this all the time. Which state is easiest to take the Nclex in? What do you think? Which state is easiest to take the Nclex in? I get that one so much. So I just will say this. There's a misconception that the Nclex is different from state to state. There's also a misconception that international students take a different Nclex, and that's not true. All right, go ahead and put the states that you think is the easiest. Help me out here. I have some on my list, and the one I see you guys putting up, I don't have on my list. So go ahead and the thing is, the test is the same. The test actually follows you. So once you take your Nclex, you have that tracker on you. Does that make sense? Like, the test remembers you. So you can go from New York to California and the exam knows you, and it knows the last test you took, and it will not give you those questions again. You'll get a brand new test, but everybody tests from the same test plan. Now, the question is, what are the requirements to test in that state? And then what are the requirements to retest in that state? And that is where the distinction comes in, because there are some states where the requirements to retest are very rigid, right? Or there are some states that won't allow you to test if you failed a certain time. Oh my goodness. And you have to do all these remediations and things like that. So to answer your question, the Nclex is universal. Everybody takes the same test. However, there are benefits to testing in one state over another based off of their requirements if you fail the Nclex. All right. All right. So I put here states to get your license in that are really great. I got my license in Ohio. I started in Ohio, and then I got reciprocity in all the other states that I was licensed in. So I can speak for Ohio. I loved it. I didn't have any problems with the paperwork. It was really cool for me to get licensed in Ohio. Other states that I know are popular among Remar nurses are Georgia and Minnesota. We get a lot of nurses from there. And I think I saw New York. All right. New York, North Carolina. Okay. What other thing? Virginia, New Jersey, all right, Hawaii. Okay, so there are many possibilities. If you're an international nurse and you want to come over, there are so many possibilities for you to get tested in. There is a general consensus that some states are a little bit more trickier than others. So we definitely know that Florida has that 3 times. If you fail in Florida 3 times, you are definitely doing a remediation program. So think about it. All right. Okay. All right. The next question that I got, what is the most difficult subject to prepare for Nclex? So what's the most difficult subject when you are studying for Nclex? What do you guys think? What's the most difficult subject? Oh my goodness. I don't know. Med surg can be tough because there's so much that you think you need to know, but you really don't. Pharmacology can be tough if you don't have any direction, right? What do you guys struggle with? I would say if you struggle with pharmacology, you definitely need the quick facts. All right, I make that easy. But if you don't have a resource for pharmacology, that can be tough. I remember a nursing student, I was on a conference and a nursing student asked another Nclex instructor, how would she prepare? She wasn't an Nclex instructor. She was doing Nclex, but she was a professor, like a big time professor. And I was in her class and a student asked her how she should study for pharmacology. And the instructor basically said, just Google. Okay. Don't just Google. But I couldn't tell her that. I couldn't tell her to get the quick facts because it wasn't my class. Anyways, so if people are saying pharm, peds, yeah. All right. Those are the most challenging. I think pharm is going to be a general weak area for nursing students because the pharmacology, we don't use the language. We don't use different medications. We're not saying amlodipine. We're not saying selegiline. We're not saying these medications every day. And so they seem foreign to us. It's like a foreign language. All right. But I agree with you guys. I think it's individual. I definitely think my weak areas are not going to be your weak areas. So whatever you find your weak areas to be, make sure you focus on it and you give a lot of time to it. Don't spend time doing things that you know. Some of you guys are excellent when it comes to mental health. And so you know the diseases, you know the medication. So you don't have to spend a ton of time on that. And in the virtual trainer, I don't spend a lot of time covering a lot of subjects. Number one, because they're not very popular on our practice analysis, and then they're not covered in a large amount on the test plan. So I would just say make sure that you identify your weak area, whatever it is, and don't take somebody else's word for it. All right. Because remember, everybody's going to have a different test. So the test that I took for Nclex is not going to be the same test that you take. It's not. All right. So that's that. All right. Somebody asked me again, when do I start doing practice questions? Oh my goodness. Should I do practice questions as soon as I start studying, or should I do them after I've reviewed all of the content? That is such a conundrum. When do we do the practice questions? The practice questions, I see your comment. I'm gonna answer that in a second, Denise. Practice questions are again another thing that people individualize. Some people do practice questions right after they study a subject. They go and they do practice questions on that subject. All right. Other people, they wait until after they reviewed all of the content and then they start doing practice questions. Yes, practice questions, they don't teach you anything. They don't. I say that all the time. I don't care what rationales you read. I don't care how spectacular the questions are. They really don't teach you anything. They help you to reveal your weaknesses. So a lot of my repeat test takers, they failed Nclex because they only did practice questions, right? They heard if I just do practice questions, and I see nursing students giving each other that advice all the time. Like, hey, you got to get the content first, guys. All right. So that's why I tell you, virtual trainer first. You will see when you go through the content in this, you will be able to do practice questions so much more better. You're like so much easier. All right. So even if you are incorporating practice questions, even if you are incorporating practice questions now while you're studying content, don't spend too much time on them. All right. Shout out to Nurse Lawrence. I just passed last week. Thank you so much for creating VT. My exam stopped at 75 questions. Whew, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yay. Got a new nurse in the house. Where are you representing from? What state did you take this exam in? We want to know what state you took the exam in. See if it's the easiest. All right. So again, practice questions are your own discretion. I would just say understand content always comes first. Always, 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 because you won't be able to answer the questions if you have not studied the content. All right. And shout out to Nurse Lauren. She took it in Florida. All right. Awesome. So the virtual trainer, guess what? It can pass in Florida too. All right. Nurse, somebody asked me, I forgot. Nurse Karen, was it? Is there a lot of math on Nclex? Whew. Good question. Nurse Mosby Thomas says, if you don't have content and do questions, you're only guessing at the answers and won't be able to rationalize the answer or break down the question. Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. Math on the Nclex exam. Is there a lot of math on the Nclex? Traditionally, I'm going to say that's a negative. No, a lot of nursing students don't see a ton of math on their Nclex exam. And if they do, it is very basic math. All right. And I think even when I did the clinical math for you guys in the workbook here, and I honestly think I overdid the math. What do you think? You guys that took it when you did? I mean, I really went in on the math this time, and I might have even overdone it because the math on the Nclex tends to be very. I'm looking for the page. It tends to be very, very generic. Okay, so that means converting tabs from milliliters or milligrams to tabs, and then or just calculating IV flow rates, like very generic. I think you guys can do it, honestly. I start covering the math after IV fluids on 77, and it goes all the way to you will be taking an exam on page 82 over the math. So I honestly think what I do in the VT is more than enough. Lewis says the math was very basic. All right, perfect. Exactly. All right. What do you suggest to improve memory? Love that question. Retention is a struggle, especially if you're not interested in the topic, right? How do you guys improve your retention? For me, I study first thing, like in the morning when I wake up, and I don't study for a long time. And I find that carries me throughout the entire day. All right. Even if I stop studying in my mind, I'm for some reason, I'm still thinking about it throughout the day. But if I study at the end of the day when I'm tired, like right now, it's very hard for me. Another thing I think is when I am studying to improve my retention, I write things down. I'm a writer. It helps me to remember things. If I write it down, somehow I'll be able to see it in my head. And so I do that. And I also don't put any distractions. So my phone, TV, I can't stand it. Mark is one of those people that has the TV on, the radio on, he's listening to something in his ears, and he is able to get work done. Me, I am the total opposite. Like the entire planet has to shut down for me to remember what I'm studying. And so you have to, get into your quiet place and do it. All right. So I'm taking questions right now. This actually is our 30-day challenge where we are going over we're going over those questions that people sent me, but we're also going over the calendar as well. All right. So we're going over the virtual trainer calendar every day for the next 30 days. So today is our day of rest. So we're kind of just chopping it up, and we're resting in the fact that tomorrow is week 2 and we are hitting the books hard. All right. And so when I come on here tomorrow, I hope y'all are ready, because I'm going to be going over the major themes that are covered in day number 8. All right. And you don't have to have it all memorized and prepared, but it really helps when I come on if you studied it. All right. And if you have not gotten into the virtual trainer, it's not too late. I'm telling everybody, just join me, fall in place. You can watch the videos again. They're repeatable. I'm putting them up for you guys. All right. So what is the best strategy for answering SATA questions? Okay. SATA questions are traditionally more difficult because there's more than one answer that's right? One answer or more than one answer can be correct. So for SATA, you got to know your content. That's the number one thing. There's really no strategies, all right? I'm not a big strategy person, but I do look at the answers, and I say to myself, as I read an answer choice, is this true about the topic or is this false about the topic? So I turn it into a true or false statement, and then that's how I break down SATA questions. All right. Shout out to Denise says, I love the trainer. I learned content I didn't cover in school. That's the idea. Yep, that's the idea. All right. Hey there, everybody that's new. Tomorrow, I will have to see. Honestly, I don't know all of the subjects that we will cover tomorrow, because what I'm doing, I'm just going through it like I would do if I was a student. And then I ask myself questions from a different perspective. Like if I write something down, I'm like, do I really know what that means? And then I asked you guys, do you really know what that means? And then I pick questions from the Quick Facts book, and then I'll go over them. All right. So look at week 2 of your virtual trainer calendar. All right. Okay. I like that. To help you with your retention, there's Taylor say, I walk up and down the hallway talking and reciting what I've learned. All right. So you are an auditory learner, obviously, if you have to hear yourself. Should I put my quick facts on flashcards? Nurse Patricia asked me that. That's a great, you know what I'll say is many of people have done that. Many of people have written out their quick facts and they use it as another tool. Those people are definitely writers. They're definitely people who learn through writing. Now, if you are not a note taker, don't do it. Okay. Don't do it. If you're an auditory learner or if you're a visual learner, then making flashcards is just going to be a waste of time if that's not how you learn. All right. So that's what I'll say about that. I did not feel the need. Well, actually, the only thing that I would write out of here for myself personally is the laboratory values. Okay. Because I honestly spent so much time with this book that I studied it just out the book. All right. But I did have to write down the labs because those numbers, that's just something that I had a hard time sticking. All right. So that's what I'll have to say about that. The calendar is in the file vault. Thank you. Is it okay to have 2 reviewers at the same time for retention? Do you mean 2 different study systems for retention? I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but I would say, I would definitely say no, because you have to understand that reviewers are not working together. So people have their own emphasis on what they want to cover. And sometimes it doesn't work together. All right. So for instance, I don't consult anybody else. Like I don't consult other reviewers when I do my material, just like they don't consult me. So there can be a lot of conflict. One reviewer can say this, another reviewer can say that. Like, yeah. So a lot of my international nurses, they really want to pass Nclex. And so they get all of these different products together and it doesn't work. And so we know that the international nurse rate of passing is about a 35%, right? It is not very high at all. And it's because you guys are coming from a different country. You have a lot of different myths about what the Nclex is really like, and you don't know. You really just don't know. But you're going to find here that with God, it's possible. Number 1, that's the first thing about Remar. And number 2 is that we work together as a community and we study what's going to be on the exam. All right. And then once we know the content, then we critically think. I come on every Monday with questions to get you guys to think. And right now we're doing a 30-day challenge, right? So you can actually get this virtual trainer to help you by going to remarnurse.com. All right. remarnurse.com and put in the code INVEST. It's a coupon code INVEST. All right. All right. Okay. It's possible. Hi, Regina. I'm excited to purchase your VT. Yay! I graduated. So what do you think would be a good time to purchase it? If you're a senior nursing student, hey, get in the VT now. All right. Because if you get in the VT now, look, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to just explain your whole year. If you get in the VT now, you're going to get, we're doing a special. So if you get in the VT now, you put the coupon code INVEST. You can start studying, even if you don't want to study your Nclex material, you can start studying the fundamentals section. All right, the fundamentals section. And that's a free section you can unlock. You can do it as your classes are going. All right, you can do that. You graduated, that's going to be perfect because you can start studying for your Nclex exam, and then I'll be doing Remar Nurse University around that time. And so if you already have your virtual trainer, then you will roll right into Remar Nurse University. And let me tell you, you might not know about Remar Nurse University, but that is where I go all out for graduation season. So if you have the VT already, you'll be perfect for the subjects that I will be reviewing, because it's a ton of critical thinking. And so you'll already have the content. You're going to be ready to pass your Nclex. Woo! You can take your Nclex right after our Remar Nurse University and pass it. I'm telling you, it's not going to be no problem for you. No, that's the plan. I'm excited. I'm so excited for graduation season. I could not even wait. But right now, I got to get my nurses who are testing in January and February and March to pass. So I'm doing this 30-day challenge. Will you join me? Will you join me? You don't need to wait until May to get your license. All right. Nurse Velma says, I love the fundamentals. Yeah. All right. Okay, guys. So I don't like to keep you so long for the check-ins. This was the day of rest. So I just wanted to come on and remind you guys. That's why I come on so late. I don't come on during the day because when I come on earlier, you guys are like, let's do questions. So it's the end of the day. You should have rested today according to our calendar. But tomorrow, because we are being consistent and because we really want to pass Nclex, like besides anything else, there's nothing more important when it comes to nursing right now than us passing our Nclex. So because we want to do that, tomorrow is going to be day number 8 of our 30-day challenge. All right. And we're going to come back and we're going to go over some major themes. I'm going to have some questions, pop-up quizzes and things like that. So there's only 2 things I need to leave you with. Number 1, have you studied for Nclex today? If you have, all right, and if you have from the virtual trainer, great job. You're either catching up from your calendar or you're fooling around in the before the books arrive section, or you're just enjoying it. Great. All right. If you have not and you need to get the virtual trainer, go to remarnurse.com and get the VT. Use the code INVEST. Use the code INVEST. All right. Those are the 2 things. Either you have studied for Nclex or you have not studied for Nclex. So whatever group you find yourself in, take care of it. This is our year. The 30-day challenge is for you. It is for you. Okay. So by God's grace, it is possible. It is possible for you to pass your Nclex exam this year and have your nursing license. Woo! And just imagine what is going to happen when you get that paper in your hands that says RN number, da 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 da, or PN number, da 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 da. You're gonna feel so good. I'm telling you. But you gotta do what it takes to get there. All right. Nothing worthwhile is given. It's always earned. All right. So you gotta earn it. And the way you earn it is by putting in the work. The good thing is you don't have to do it alone. All right. Because we are here to help you. So like I always say, you can, you will, hey, you must pass Nclex. Can you say that with me? To God be the glory. Yes. All right. I can, I will, I must pass Nclex. This is my year. You got to believe it. I believe in you guys. So let's do it together. Day 7, done.
Hi, you guys. I just wanted to kind of tell you a quick story. Back in 2009, I graduated from nursing school and I took my Nclex, and unfortunately I didn't pass the first time. but nursing has always tugged at my heart, and this is something that I really feel is my passion. And so I decided to get back into it. So I stumbled upon Regina's video on YouTube. And when I tell you the motivation, the content, oh my God, I fell in love, okay? So immediately I purchased the Quick Facts, the 5-star, instantly. Boom. Then I purchased the VT trainer. And let me tell you, it is the bomb, okay? Content. When I mean you need content, oh, it helped me so much. Thank you so much, Regina. I appreciate it. Oh, I am so grateful. And those exact phrases and words that you told me to repeat, I repeat it every day. I can, I will, I must pass Nclex. And guess what, y'all? I'm officially a Remar nurse, and I just want to tell you, you can, you will, you must pass Nclex. You can do it. Stay committed. Thank you so much, Regina.
The Nclex Virtual Trainer is the best training system for nursing students who need to pass the exam. My name is Regina Callion, MSN RN, and I have helped thousands of nursing students pass the Nclex exam with my program. You're gonna love it. With my Nclex review, I'm going to give you all of my nursing content in one place. Not only that, I'm going to make sure that after every individual lesson, you know what is most important. And if you need questions to help you, I have the questions right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an amazing opportunity to get in the virtual trainer. I'm also going to send you the virtual trainer student workbook, as well as my quick facts for Nclex. This is it. This is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. Click the link below. This is the #1 training system for nursing students who need to pass Nclex. Don't miss out on this opportunity. Click the link below. Hey, what are you waiting for? I want to see you on the inside. This is the opportunity. You don't want to miss it. If your nursing license is important to you, you will take action right now. Let's click the link. Let's go.